welcome to the first ever Whiskey and Nerd Shit podcast, where we try and figure out how to make a podcast in real time. So far, given the 2 hours it's taken us to get to this point, not great.
But we're here.
But we're here. I'm Gabe.
I'm Blake.
And on this podcast, we will talk about all kinds of different whiskeys, stuff we try, stuff we like, stuff that we wish we could try because we're in Texas and half that shit out there doesn't exist here. And then we'll talk about nerd shit. Marvel, DC, movies, comics, video games, all kinds of other movies. Pretty much any pop culture thing we enjoy. Sports, fighting, other dumb things. Really anything with the giant exception of politics. And that's the only time that'll get brought up. Because no one wants to hear that, and no one wants to hear it from us.
Nope.
So, let's start with what are we drinking? We're drinking Axe and Oak, the Colorado Mountain Bourbon Whiskey from Colorado Springs, Colorado. It's a roughly 2-year bourbon. From a corn, malted rye, and barley. It is batch 70. Only 1,000 bottles of this one. 765 out of 1,000. And the bottler was listening to Yeezy when he made this bottle, which explains the flat taste. Because listening to that music is like chewing on Tide Pods. And I mean it. But, do you like it?
It's nothing special, nothing to write home about, but it's a solid whiskey. It's got the flavor profiles that I enjoy.
Yeah, on a much weaker,
toned down note.
Had we tried this, and again, we're very young in our whiskey adventures, about a good solid year to year and a half into doing this, a year of actually collecting bottles. Yeah. Had we gotten this one early on,
this would have been phenomenal.
Yeah, we probably would have loved it.
The one thing I will give it is it doesn't have any kind of bad aftertaste. Where I haven't had a sip in a couple minutes now, and I still have a good taste and flavor in my mouth.
Yeah, I could enjoy just sipping on this, and I would actually recommend this to people trying. Hey, man, can I get something? Because I don't know about you.
Just getting into bourbon.
Yeah, I get a lot of people asking me, oh, you're into whiskey just because I've bought entirely too many bottles. That doesn't mean I'm good at this.
Yeah.
Like, we do tasting notes, but we're
still
morons.
Very much experimental.
Yeah, 100%. We are not the bourbon junkies. We're not Fred Minnick. We're not the guys down in Austin with the Whiskey Vault, even though I would like to go down there and do their whiskey sommelier program. Yes. That would be awesome. We're getting notes.
I think I just broke my mic. Now we're good.
That's awesome. I also like this note system since our producer, Piper, her microphone doesn't work on the first podcast. So I like it. It smells like graham cracker on the nose. And the taste is vanilla, caramel, kind of a butterscotch. No heat on the back end.
Yeah, it just smooths out and goes away.
Honestly, it reminds me of a different... kind of like a Michter's American.
Yeah.
Very similar flavor profile, almost similar feel. This one, I believe, is 46%. Yeah, 46, so nothing crazy or heavy like half of our other stuff. And I need to back up because I'm too loud, as always. So, talk about whiskey, but we're also going to talk about nerd shit. So let's talk about nerd shit for 2020. 2020 nerd shit. A lot of things did not come out or got delayed aggressively because of COVID. So things like Black Widow got pushed ridiculous. Wonder Woman 84 unfortunately released on Christmas at the end of the year instead of
a lot of the TV shows got pushed.
Quite a few, but a lot of good ones didn't. WandaVision got pushed quite a bit, but that comes out.
Falcon Winter Soldier was supposed to be August 2020. I saw today.
Was it?
Originally, yeah.
Oh, so now that one's set for March. Right as WandaVision shuts or closes
right as
up.
It closed out 1 week later.
Yeah, and then in May, right around when Black Widow's supposed to come out and when Falcon Winter Soldier probably wrapping up, you have Loki starting.
Yes.
So I can see what they do there, and I don't know if any of them will connect to each other. I know WandaVision will connect directly with Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness.
I did read that a lot of the TV shows that are coming out this year are going to directly affect the Phase 4 movies.
Good. They didn't do that before, but also before all you had was...
All the shows were on Netflix-based shows, not Disney.
Yeah, and they had them... While they referenced Avengers happening, everything else was its own deal.
Yeah.
And now that they just got the properties back, you can, fingers crossed, bring back Daredevil into something.
Yes.
But we'll see what happens. And the only other thing you had was the stupid Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I couldn't get into.
It was the only thing that kind of correlated back, and it was good for a couple seasons and then just went off the deep end, in my opinion.
You watched a couple seasons of it?
Yeah, I watched the first 5 seasons or so.
Really?
And it was actually really good. Really enjoyed it.
I watched the first 5 episodes, and I just, for me, and I'm one of the biggest nerds I know, I completely fell out.
Yeah, no, we actually got into it for a while, and it was just, we were really into it. New season came out, and it just took a left turn for us, and all of a sudden was just bad. We couldn't, it was unwatchable.
Yeah, the CW shows, they had a bad habit of that. First season, get their feet. Second season would be good. Third season would be okay. Fourth season, they start to come back a little bit. Fifth season was cool. Sixth season, it gets really redundant.
A lot of up and downs.
And you're lost. They're trying to string out storylines and romances, and yeah. So we got that. We got WandaVision next week. Did you watch Legends?
I did not.
Guess what? It's just a cool YouTube collage of the shit that they did.
Yeah.
That's it.
I did go back and look at the Phase 4 release dates.
Yeah.
Of the 52 weeks next year, if you count TV shows and movies, we only have 9 weeks where we don't have something new from Marvel.
And we can fill those 9 weeks with other shit.
Yeah. Something's going to happen.
I'm sure. There's got to be an offset. There's so much crap coming out in 2021, which will...
There's a lot of good movies that were supposed to come out this year coming out in 2021.
Very true. Again, one of which being Black Widow. Mm-hmm. But because of that, what were some of the good things? We'll go into this list that we've tried to do 5 times already. Run through a list. I'll just run through my top 5.
Okay.
On my end. First one, The Gentleman, Guy Ritchie. Honestly, if I could watch gay porn of Matthew McConaughey and Charlie Hunnam over and over again, I'm pretty much set for life.
I'd have it on loop.
Yeah. Yeah, just the whole thing. It'd be in a Lincoln, and there'd be a motorcycle next to it, and sold.
Yep.
Done. That's all I need. Followed by The Last Dance, pretty much for all the same reasons.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Because he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT of GOATs.
Yes.
Michael Jordan.
Okay, I know this is a thing. Both in their prime, LeBron or Michael Jordan.
So I'm going to say what everyone else says and say that basketball back then is different than basketball right now.
100%. I think
that
Michael
being
Jordan
said, Jordan
physically beat him up. Even though LeBron is bigger, I think Michael Jordan would flat out just physically whoop his ass and then score.
And also going back into basketball in the 90s.
Yeah.
It was as similar to the UFC right now, whereas basketball now is a lot of flops. A lot of sports are doing it, but a lot of flops, a lot of, oh, he poked me.
Yeah,
and so it's two very different sports, two very different worlds.
Much like the NFL, John Lynch, for example, he's a finalist for the Hall of Fame. That dude could not play in the NFL today.
No.
At all, because he would straight torpedo and murder people.
Yeah.
Without question. So, Last Dance. Also, I said this earlier, I want to hang out with Dennis Rodman. Yeah. I think I'd get psychedelics and probably never be the same, but that'd be a cool experience. Number 3 for me, The Clone Wars. Most of it came out years ago. My brother-in-law really highly recommended it. It's a lot of content. The first 5 seasons are 22 episodes, and then season 6 and 7 are 12 and 13 a piece or whatever it is. I think the last season came out at the beginning of the year, or it came out in 2019. Either way, I watched it this year. If you like Star Wars, just grit through the fact that it's a cartoon, because the storytelling, especially in the last couple of seasons, that tied directly into the end of the Clone Wars, into Revenge of the Sith, Episode 3, all of that. Holy shit, that storytelling is fantastic. It's got Ahsoka, which immediately ties into Mandalorian now, which I'm sure is at the top of both of our lists. So incredibly good. The storytelling, I mean, even as a cartoon,
It's a very adult cartoon.
yes, tugs at your heartstrings. Yeah, no luck for you on that end zone there, buddy. It was a good try, though. Number 2 for me, The Boys. Same, yeah. It just, they nailed it. They had such a good first season.
It's what Avengers would be like if Avengers was real life.
It's what Avengers would turn into if Tony Stark won with the Accords.
Yes.
Government owned.
Yep.
Money going in and out.
Sponsorships.
It becomes a very
Every
corrupt
big town gets its own.
Yeah. And it's, again, what happens if Superman was a sociopath and had a weird deal with milk.
Milk and Mom.
Yeah, and jerking off on top of the city to, spoiler alert, end the season, which was fantastic and
Probably
hilarious.
the best way they could have ended it.
I know. Yeah, just talking about how great he is. And, of course, last one, just to knock it out. Mandalorian Season 2 was hands down perfect.
One of the greatest TV shows ever put out there.
Yes. So good. So perfect. So that's my top 5 of 2020. And I'll even throw in 2 dog shit things of 2020. Unfortunately, there's a pattern here. Harley Quinn and Wonder Woman 84. They missed on both. Harley Quinn, they tried to make Deadpool. They tried to make like the DC's version of Deadpool, where she breaks the fourth wall. She's, narrating the whole thing. She has this kid sidekick, and she's vulgar. It's super violent and bloody. It was an erratic mess. Obi-Wan Kenobi in it was just like a crazy Elton John as Black Mask, and I thought he could have done better. It was a mess, and God, Wonder Woman 84 was just tragic.
It had a great message for little kids.
Yeah.
Be true to yourself. Don't hate other people.
Yeah.
But what a dog shit movie.
Oh, it wasn't good. I like Kristen Wiig as a bad guy.
Yeah,
bad
Pedro
girl.
Pascal did as good as he could have with the role.
Yeah. I
But
mean, the meme of him being a pretty messed up loser guy will go on for ages.
Yeah.
He's also shown that he could, I stole this from a meme, be the best dad and worst dad of 2020.
Yep.
Which was hilarious. Oh, so good. But there was no real struggle for Wonder Woman other than she loves Steve Trevor. Chris Pine was also hysterical. And the only thing that made Gal Gadot good in that movie, in my opinion, was their chemistry. Otherwise, it's just her being
pretty flat.
Yeah. And Wonder Woman 1 was 1/3 act away from being amazing.
Yeah.
It got really weird when she was fighting Ares. But this one,
But man, the World War II scenes, the No Man's Land,
fantastic.
still almost makes me cry when I watch it.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. This one, you
Just missed.
You didn't have that No Man's Land profound scene. The truck scene, that's a cool sequence, but there's nothing. It's not No Man's Land that no one can cross. It's not this thing that is just unbelievable. There was no struggle there, and then she fought one of the stunt doubles from Cats, and then she laid down with a lasso, and that's how the movie ended.
My 2 biggest qualms with the movie: one, it was also a qualm with a couple other movies DC's done in the past. Is Wonder Woman's supposed to be a superhero, essentially a god or a goddess, right?
Yeah.
They humanized her with the truck scene, to where she kept getting shot, feared man, and it was just...
Well, I get that because it's part of the plot of that's happening because she has Steve Trevor.
Yeah.
Because of her wish. That's the pullback from the wish that they were not overly good at explaining.
Until the very end, you're like, oh, that's why all that happened.
Exactly. That's why everyone was having this issue go on. Yeah. But they didn't overly explain that up front, that, oh my God, there's this wishing stone, which that was the best thing you could come up with. Here's this wishing stone, and there's one very quiet line that, something happens when you wish. There's a trick.
Yeah.
That was the line, is there's a trick. That doesn't explain anything, and I had to watch this with my parents who were in their 60s and had no idea what was going on. God bless them. But there was a lot of holes. Patty Jenkins took over that whole thing, riding high on the coattails of the last one, and I think she failed.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder did not have much to do with this one as he did with the first one, and yeah, it fell through. But that's my 5 good, 2 crap. What do you got?
So we had a lot of the same things. I also had The Gentleman, The Boys, and The Mandalorian.
Of course.
All for some of the great things from 2020. I did have a couple other things that hit high with me in 2020. Falling in love with video games because of Call of Duty Warzone.
The ridiculous 150 people orgy.
Yes, it's basically a
Fortnite
elimination
orgies.
battle royale game that it's been out for over a year, and still to this day there's tens of hundreds of millions of people playing it. And if you follow any video game streamers, that's the only thing they play.
See, that's my problem with video games is that is only cool when I'm with you guys drinking whiskey, hanging out. There's 19 of us in your tiny 6x6 office,
Video game office.
with 4 different screens on. That's cool. Other than that, I'm out. I either want to just get the storylines like I'm watching an animated movie,
Yeah, play the campaigns.
or it's got to be Mario, Crash Bandicoot, Sonic the Hedgehog level.
Yeah.
Which I mentioned earlier. The Last of Us 2 sounds like a awesome storyline.
Yep.
I would never ever commit to that. And then what was it you said? Among Us?
Among Us and Fall Guys were the honorable mention games I was going to bring up, also because they became big with streamers. It was, you play it by yourself. Well, not by yourself. You play it alone
Single player
with other
and-
people
Yeah.
online. And it's Among Us being a game all about deceit and deception. And then Fall Guys, which was, again, a game that could have come out on the Sega Genesis. You need a directional pad and I think 1 or 2 buttons to play the game. And it was literally
Oregon Trail.
It was literally an obstacle course, but you're competing against 50 other people to begin with, and it's 4 or 5 rounds, and it comes down to one winner. So same premise, just take out the guns and make them all pink and colorful. But again, it's also deceit and deception. You can drag people and pull them back, and
Everything is just a manipulation of Fusion Frenzy at this point.
essentially, yeah.
Yeah. Ready! Fusion Frenzy! Still have that, and I think we should all get drunk and play it.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
2021. Very soon.
The other big thing that was in 2020, kind of around the time COVID came out, everyone was at lockdown, everybody was at home, everybody was bummed out, and then we got Tiger King.
Oh, God.
And immediately spirits were lifted. We were all
I don't know if
on the same
lifted-
page.
I don't know if lifted is the word. United.
United
For sure about
in-
the absolute ridiculousness of that. And I was late to that party, just like I'm late to every party. I was late to Borat. I was late to Napoleon Dynamite. I was late to Tiger King, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But
Put those 3 in a room together.
that's something I would watch. 100%. Sacha Baron Cohen. Oh, that's another thing I watched in 2020. I don't know if it came out, but The Spy on Netflix.
I think it did come out early 2020.
Then that needs to be on my list because Sacha Baron Cohen on playing a real serious character, he was amazing.
Really?
Oh, he is so good in that. The storyline itself is good enough. It's based on a true story about Eli Cohen infiltrating a different country and getting into their government and doing all that from Israel. But holy crap, him in that movie, I want to see him in nothing but serious roles from now on. He also came out with another Netflix movie.
Trials of the Chicago 7?
Yes. I
That
haven't
was
watched-
actually very good.
Was it? I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, that was a very good movie.
That and I wrote it down, Devil All the Time with Robert Pattinson and Tom Holland, and there's 2 other names in there I can't remember. Those 2 were Netflix movies that I did not get to watch, but
Don't.
really, really want to.
Because it was crap.
Devil All the Time was crap?
Devil All the Time was one of the worst movies.
Oh, no!
It was very similar to Wonder Woman 84, whereas I kept waiting for it to get good.
Oh.
I'm like, okay, it's coming. Those are credits.
Oh.
Damn. I had such high hopes and expectations.
Sparkle Batman and Spider-Man didn't pull it
Yeah,
out.
Batman and Spider-Man did not pull it off. It was and it had so many big names in it, so much potential. The trailer for it looked amazing, and then you actually watched it, and it wasn't good and just never got good. You had such high hopes. You wanted it to be good.
Tom Holland, to his credit, because he's in his mid-20s at this point, he's taken on every kind of different role. He is not pigeonholed into anything. 2021, that kid's got like 6 feature films coming
Yeah.
out. He's
6
in
blockbusters.
He's got Spider-Man 3 at the end of the year, which we'll
Yep.
get into because that's on my list for next
Yep.
year.
Same.
He's got Uncharted.
Yep.
He's
The
got
video game turned into a movie.
Yep. He's got a movie with Daisy Ridley that's supposed to come out here in the next couple weeks. And he's got one or two other things that I wrote down and saw, but I can't remember.
He's the young white Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, and they're still putting him in everything.
Yeah. He's got his own superhero movie coming out soon. Black Adam.
I think that's 2022 on that
Yeah.
one. But yeah, I'd like to see him as that because he tries to bring some sort of comedic performance.
Yeah.
Which I say that in the movie, it's not Drive, but the one where he's in the Chevelle and trying to hunt down his son's killer that came out. He's wearing a black leather jacket.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I can't. I thought it was called Drive, but no.
It might be Drive. I thought Drive was the Gosling one.
That's right.
Yeah,
Driver.
maybe. Who the hell knows? They just recycle this
That
stuff.
one with the Rock and the Chevelle.
Yeah, exactly. In the black jacket.
Yeah.
But he tries to bring comedy to all of his stuff, and in that kind of role, I think it'd be very interesting to do that kind of take on it because it's
Yeah.
a very serious character. But do you have any knocks on 2021 outside the ones I gave you? And apparently Devil All the Time.
The Devil All the Time was rough, and I had
crushed my
nothing
dreams
going
on
on. I mean, maybe my expectations were too high. It is a long movie with a lot of lulls,
Ooh,
so
it does seem one tone, so that's kind of
yeah
hard to
and
do.
it's just I don't know. I maybe I had high expectations going into it, but it definitely missed whatever marker I had set for it to begin with.
Oh, you lost
go
your
with the
TV. We were watching the, as of this recording, the Rams and Seahawks are playing in the wild card. Rams just went up 30-13 with 4 minutes left in the fourth.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Seattle, which
is
is kind of
not.
disappointing because I was really pulling for them in this game.
In this game in particular.
Yeah.
Snitch?
No,
It might have started with
it
a
wasn't Snitch.
S.
That was a different move.
Faster.
Yeah, faster.
Not Faster Driver.
Right, the way,
Hey, our fact checker pulled through.
No, Faster Driver's when he joined Fast and Furious.
Oh,
That
God.
was
Faster Driver 9 into space.
that's gonna be Fast and Furious 12. Faster Driver.
Fast 9 comes out in 2021.
Fast 9 does.
Oh God, I want that to end so badly.
They said there's gonna be a 10th, and that's gonna be the last.
That's 10 too many. That's
Yeah.
9 too many. Everyone enjoyed the first
I'm still
one.
hoping they're gonna call it Fast 10. Your seatbelts.
I never knew I wanted that till now. That's so good. Anything else to shit on in 2020? There's a lot of things to shit on.
I mean, there was a lot, but off the top of my head, unfortunately we didn't get any movies. I think that was the biggest thing I shot on in 2020 is nothing came out after March.
Well, the only thing, it was kind of the canary in the coal mine because no one could go to theaters. But they wanted to do, Christopher Nolan wanted to put Tenet out.
Yeah,
And had COVID not been a thing, it probably would have gotten a much better reception.
yeah,
And definitely did much better in the theaters. The movie was okay. It was like he was trying to do Inception again, but it didn't fly that way.
yeah.
But that was kind of it. I mean, there was other ones that came out early. I think Bad Boys, the third one, was the highest grossing movie of 2020 because it came out in February before everything hit.
Yeah, did
So
you see
everyone
it?
went and saw it. I didn't watch it.
It's
No?
another one you can pass. They're closing it out, and they had to close it out, but it was very much so Star Wars I'm Your Father. If you saw
Wait,
that,
is Will Smith Martin Lawrence's father the whole time?
he is. That's the
fuck yeah.
twist at the end.
Thank God.
Don't see it coming.
Oh, I'm so happy with that. That makes perfect sense. Another one I didn't see, Doolittle. I heard it was okay. Poor Robert Downey Jr. can do no wrong, but Doolittle did not land.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
He can do no wrong unless he's talking to animals. And we're back.
30-13, 3 minutes to go.
Seattle trying to make stuff happen. DK Metcalf jogging onto the field, who failed miserably in my playoffs.
Yeah. Y'all teams really let y'all down once y'all got the playoffs.
God, we face planted aggressively in the Super Bowl.
Just gone my route and just sucked completely year round.
You came in second to last?
Third.
Third
I beat
to
Brent
last.
and Andrea. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
definitely not second to last. That'd be
cousin-in-law.
embarrassing.
Yeah, you came in 5th. I was about to come in 4th, and then I rallied for my last good week of the year
yep.
to crush Paul. But so okay, that's all we got for 2020.
Yep.
2021. Also, I'm gonna pour some of this Horse Soldier you have here.
Yep.
Horse Soldier. Do you know anything about the distiller? Where, when, who? What, why?
I know it is based off the soldiers that went in the beginning of the wars that went on in Afghanistan. And
that was the Chris
Hemsworth movie.
you
Yeah.
talked about.
And it was soldiers that went in on horseback.
I hope that's a soundbite.
I hope it is too. They went on horseback and basically fought a war on horseback. I think it was like 12 of them, 8 to 12 of them.
12 strong.
Yeah, maybe it's called 12 strong, so probably 12 of them. And
There's a baker's dozen.
And yeah, Bigger Dozen Strong just didn't sound right for a movie title.
There's actually 13, but they changed it for the movie.
But yeah, I think the back of the bottle, because you can always trust that, reads that one of the guys was
read
one
this.
of the guys that was actually out there.
I'll read this word for word to all of you out there.
And then pass it to me so I can pour some.
Okay. Actually, I'm not going to read this, but it does talk about the fight on horseback in northern Afghanistan, and then the act that earned them the moniker Horse Soldiers. So, very cool story. The bourbon is a small batch bourbon whiskey, 47.5%. I do not see an age statement anywhere on this. No.
So probably a 2 to 5 year bourbon.
Handmade and bottled by American Freedom Distillery in Columbus, Ohio. So handmade and bottled by. So it doesn't go into the breakdown on here. We could always look it up later to see what the actual mash bill is, and they may or may not have the age statement, but I just pour some of this. I'm going to leave this to you. There you go. We're in Texas, don't we always?
Yeah. As a
Stag Junior, $50 everywhere else, $200 in Texas, unless there's a lottery or point system.
Yeah. You usually spend well more than the 200 to begin with.
Oh, God, I know. We have a problem.
All right. So,
We're not making money on this podcast, so it's not a tax write-off.
yeah. Not yet.
Hear that, Patreon subscribers? None of you at the
Touchdown.
moment?
A
DK!
little too late, but touchdown.
They got 2 minutes left. I mean, yeah, they still need 2 scores in 2 minutes.
I do like this new little camera angle thing they do when someone scores a touchdown.
Yeah.
It looks like video game camera angles.
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited to see what the Nickelodeon thing is tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think that's the Chicago game, Chicago Saints game. They're doing the Nickelodeon stuff. We'll see what happens. God, that dude is so big. He's the closest thing to Calvin Johnson since Calvin Johnson left.
Yeah.
DK
I think he's
Metcalf.
a little bit bigger, honestly.
He might be. I didn't realize Calvin Johnson played for like 8 years. I thought he only did it for 4 or 5, and then was like, I hurt. I'm out.
He was in Detroit that long.
That poor bastard.
Unfortunately. Him and Matt Stafford, unfortunately.
Matt Stafford's still
I
trucking
would say
along.
careers wasted, but they were there together.
You
So,
want to talk about careers wasted? We can bring up Deshaun Jackson.
yeah.
He's coming out that he's upset being in Houston. He's got to realize that
Deshaun
kid.
Watson,
I said Deshaun Jackson.
he did.
That's a receiver
I
who's
was like,
very
yeah,
old.
he's done.
He's super done.
Career over.
Deshaun Watson in Houston.
Yeah.
Thank you for the correction.
I did see a post today on Facebook saying that the Patriots were looking at him.
You'd have to sell the house, but if he can
Not
get
to
on,
Houston. You got to sell him like a Big Mac and a large fry to
no, Bill
get.
O'Brien's gone. you used to be able to ship him like a tiny flag.
You gotta
you
give him
can put
like
in your
a
front yard.
like a Big Mac and a 7th round draft pick, and you can have DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, I did need lunch. Done. Yeah. He's mad because if he's smart, he realizes that, look, I'm in Houston. They got to completely rebuild this offense. The running back you got me isn't good. The offensive line, I have Laramie Tunsil that we gave up our number 4 pick to the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
JJ wants out, which is saying a lot.
Well, his problem was a contract, and he's really hurt. They weren't using him right.
Yeah.
You got to rotate a guy like that, kind of like DeMarcus Ware with the Cowboys and the Broncos at the end of his career.
Yeah.
You rotate him on half the snaps, and he's way more effective.
Yeah.
They were still just running him through.
Just rotate him in and out with Sean Lee.
Right, yeah, exactly. Doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Sean Lee's only rushing the passer now for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you got to completely rebuild that defense. You're looking at 3-4 years before you got enough weapons to really compete in that division.
At that point, he should be top of his prime at that point. Or
He's in his prime
on the back hill.
On the back end. I mean,
Yeah.
unless we say he has like a 10-year career, which he's got about 6 years left, so he's only got 4 good years. And barring injury, he's not a heavy dude. He is tall and skinny, but he's such a good athletic quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't know. It would be a lot for a GM to say, hit the trade button and completely nuke it and rebuild. But you could get a lot of property off of that kid.
I mean, that's what the Patriots do. They're the trade masters. That's why they have 30 picks every year.
They'd have to give away 30 picks this year. This almost smells chemically, by the way.
Yeah. Taste it too. Hey, we're rambling. If we want to get back to our 2021 list.
Oh, shit. We are rambling. Where are you at, producer? You got to yell at me for this one. That's totally on me. This is what I talked about.
Yep.
That's what I told you would happen.
Yep.
So
We'd forget we're doing a podcast and start talking about something else and just...
it's what we planned on doing anyway. Also, us nonsense bullshitting is going way better than our structured bullshitting. I'll stick with the Marvel and DC stuff for 2021 because if you want to go through all HBO Max or other releases,
No.
we could be here for a long time, and I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Ooh, it tastes chemically,
A lot up front and nothing up back.
and it dies
Yeah.
completely. I'm not big on it.
No.
Would you give it a 6 out of 10?
Yep. That's what I gave it. A solid 6. It does have flavor there. It is chemically. Again, it's also young. It's 2 years. Just like the Axon Oak.
the Colorado Mountain.
Which means it's not going to be complex. Not going to be a whole lot to it. What you see is what you get.
We didn't talk about it on this recording. It was one of the recordings from probably 2.5 hours ago.
Attempt 7.
Iron Root, which we tried. Iron Root Hubris, Denison, Texas. Corn whiskey because it's aged in European oak. That one, citrus, smelled like fruit on the nose. I don't know if I like that or the Axon Oak better because the Axon Oak is just like a simple, easy sipper, whereas the Iron Root's a little more complex.
I like the Iron Root better. I felt it.
A little bit deeper.
Yeah, I like that kick in the face from that 117 proof.
I would say it is
117. Yeah, 117 proof.
Yeah, 58.9, which I apparently can't buy anything that's not probably going to give me alcohol poisoning at 32.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp limping off the field. That's not good for later games.
Where's that?
Get the index card out. That's a throwback reference. All right, 2021. Blake, you start that.
Okay, so I'm gonna run through my list again, starting with a video game.
Also, to cut you off, I apologize. Producer Piper, fact checker, if I'm getting too close to the microphone, start yelling.
Yeah, I'm constantly doing this.
I know. I'm moving it a lot. Let me know.
All right, so 2021 list. Starting off with a video game. The video game that got me started with Xbox, kind of got me started with everything. There's a new Halo coming out at the end of 2021 called Halo Infinite. It's coming out quarter 3, quarter 4, 2021. Very much so looking forward to that. There are quite a few good games coming out in 2021. However, I feel like everyone's going to continue to play the ever-evolving Call of Duty Warzone, and that's all we're going to hear about anyways.
I'm sure because there's going to have mods and packages.
It evolves. There's different seasons. Like right now, we're on season 1 because they just integrated with Cold War, and so it's restarted. Before that, we were on season 6, so 7 seasons so far, and it's just going to keep going until something else dethrones it.
Those guys are brilliant.
Yeah.
They know how to... Also, I never understood how Call of Duty... Warzone, Warfare, Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
That's the one. I'm an idiot. Call of Duty Modern Warfare and then Call of Duty Black Ops were 2 different companies altogether running simultaneously under the same name.
Yep. And
never
they just integrated for the first time
never
ever.
made sense, and then now they brought them together, which is cool, and the whole concept is very good. But again, I don't roll heavy in the video games. The Assassin's Creed Valhalla that I watched you guys play, I'm a Viking dork. Watched the series. The final season of that came out at the very end of 2020. I'm one episode in. Already don't like it, but I do recommend watching the series because it's cool. And if you guys start the series, I will start the series over and watch it with you. I tried to get my wife to watch it, and we got 5 minutes into the first episode, and they're like, "Why are they killing priests?" I was like, "They're Vikings. They pillage. I can't watch this." And she stormed off. So I don't watch shows with her anymore. So what else you got?
All right.
As I cut you off.
Also on the 2021 docket, the Marvel TV series that are coming out.
So much.
I put them all into one category because I couldn't pick one I was more excited for than others. However, I do have what I think is going to be my top one, which is probably not going to be anyone else's top one. The first 4 shows coming out: WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki, and What If, coming out January, March, May. And like I said,
What's your number one on that one?
my number one that I think is going to be the most interesting is What If.
Mine too. That's my number one. That's the one I'm most
Okay,
excited
never mind.
for.
Everyone's going to want to watch What If.
Yeah.
It comes out. They don't have an exact release date. It just says summer 2021.
Also, all the a lot of the main characters lent their voices right
Yes.
after it closed out, including the late great Chadwick Boseman.
Yes.
So one of the last things we hear from him as well.
I'm a huge Captain America fan, so I'm really excited for Falcon Winter Soldier. I think WandaVision is going to be super interesting because I have no idea what the show is about, and so I'm super excited to see where it's going to go.
There's so many directions
They could go.
Yeah, well, because if you take their individual stories from the comic books, which have been written and retconned, I doubled up on this last night looking at it. Like, her powers alone, in, Ultron, they break it down as the staff gave them their powers, which you can see the connection between her and Vision. The staff gave her powers with the Mind Stone, and then Vision comes alive with the Mind Stone. There's your connection. Oh my god. Oh yeah, so great. But you could also bring in all of the mutants with one line or one episode explaining that she already had these powers. The Mind Stone just brought it out.
Yep.
She's actually a mutant. There's others like her. You could go that route.
She can create mutants.
Also true. The fact that she's dealing with the death of Vision and probably in her own little reality manipulating bubble, which she is notorious for doing in the comic books. House of M was manipulating all the mutants everywhere and killing their powers because her brother thought they were going to kill her. You can go in any direction. How it ties into Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, and the Phase 4 movies, everything's up in the air. I'm very excited for next week. It's going to be amazing. Loki, I think, is just going to be fanfare.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to sit and have a ton to do with anything. It's not going to be a game changer.
I heard it's also more of a crime drama.
Yeah, which is weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird route to take Loki.
But it's Tom Hiddleston, so.
And then Owen Wilson. Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing. So I'm in. I'm like you. Falcon Winter Soldier is 2 for me, just because I love both those characters, and I want to see also bringing back Zemo. Yeah, I thought that dude played a great Zemo in Civil War.
I think he was one of the best villains in the entire MCU.
Yes, and he did
a very underrated villain.
And he didn't get enough time to really develop into. They went a little bit obviously different direction in the comic books, but didn't get enough time to develop into more story and more things that he could do. Yeah. So that'll be cool to see. Also, there's all of the rumors of different stuff that's going to be popping in and out on that one specifically. So that'll be cool. You hit that collectively. Obviously, outside your video game, I got the same thing with the shows. That's on my top.
And I'm sure you probably got the movies next.
I do have the movies next, but I'll run down the 4 that are actually coming out.
Okay.
Which you got Black Widow in May.
Mm-hmm.
You got Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings, the actual Mandarin, not the Iron Man.
The Iron Man 3 Mandarin.
Yeah.
Mandarin.
Which Ben Kingsley doing that and that being the route they take. Some people weren't fans of it. I thought it was brilliant. I love Ben Kingsley being the weird British dude. It was awesome. And then in November, you got The Eternals, which was supposed to come out in November of 2020. That's supposed to set a lot of stages for the new Phase 4 and connect Phase 4 or Phase 3 to Phase 4 with a lot of different things. And then probably my number one thing I'm most excited about, Spider-Man 3.
Spider-Man 3 in December.
Bringing everyone back. Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, Doc Ock.
Green Goblin, Sandman.
Yeah. Jamie Foxx as
Jamie Foxx.
Electro.
Yes.
Just dumping it all into, and I hope if they're smart they do this, especially because it checks a lot of woke boxes these days, but you can play it real well. You throw Miles Morales live action in there, and you can do it. Get ready. Chills. You ready? Do it in the third act, like an on your left moment. He opens up one more portal, and you get the Into the Spider-Verse soundtrack for the What's Up Danger song, and the dude flies through it to help you at the very end, facing what sounds like a pseudo Sinister Six group that you got going on, and he helps the other three, and then you have that going. Oh, see, chills. I got goosebumps.
Yep, I got him.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you're just like, they're getting their ass whooped. You have your on your left moment where everything's lost, and then whoosh, meow, and he comes flying through just like on Into the Spider-Verse.
Yep.
Oh, God, I hope that's the case. It probably won't be. There's a lot of licensing
I'm about to
shit.
say, I feel like there's a lot that they can add in. That we know what is going to be on there. We just don't know what's not going to be in there yet. And there's going to be a lot that we don't know
Very
about.
true. And then you're going to have the DC version of that exact same thing with the Flash in 2022. The same. Oh, my water.
Yep.
It's going to be the same thing with Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck's also signed on to be in that.
Mm-hmm.
Ray Fisher is pissed off at the world, so he's out. But everyone else seems to be full go for Flashpoint, which will be cool in 2022.
Yep.
The only other thing I would add to that, because Star Wars doesn't have a whole lot. You got Bad Batch, which is
The Clone War type.
spinoff.
Yeah.
Which, if you watch the Clone Wars, it'll be cool. It's cartoon, but it won't hit with as many people as the rest of the stuff.
Yeah.
And then you got Book of Boba Fett coming out in December, I think it was.
Yep.
Which everyone's going to be excited about. I'm excited about because he's not technically.
It also just got extended to a 10 episode series where originally it was going to be 4 or 6.
Yes. Even the Mandalorian 8. Look, if you're only running 8 episodes, I don't need an episode where he carries eggs through
Yeah, I don't need a
away
filler.
from snow spiders. I don't need that. The series was great, and
He's a little more content.
the ending was everything you could ever dream of in anything ever, but I don't need that episode. That episode doesn't carry. You could have skipped the whole thing
Yeah.
and had 7 episodes and been fine.
Yeah.
But also, I want them to bring Timothy Oliphant back
Yeah.
for no reason, but have him there. Which, Boba Fett's back on Tatooine. That's where Timothy Oliphant is. He had the armor. You could bring him back. I love Timothy Oliphant and everything he does.
Yeah.
Girl Next Door, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you got Book of Boba Fett. That'll be cool. Most of their good stuff and their crazy list of releases. You're looking at 2022, 2023, and on. The writer for the new Kevin Feige Star Wars movie is the Rick and Morty writer that they hired. He also wrote a lot on Loki, and he was on the writing team for Multiverse of Madness for the Doctor Strange. Did you break it? Did you break
No,
your
I'm
mic stand?
I'm worried that I'm about to break it, but I think it's solid. It's a weird shadow. I can't tell what it's doing.
I think you're good. You're good from this
I
end.
think I'm good. I keep moving around. It's not doing anything, so.
That's fine. No worries.
So I think this whole microphone thing gets in the way of my whiskey.
It's growing on me. I'm letting it air out.
Yeah.
For a 2 year, it's not bad. I think in order for what we tried tonight, Horse Soldier, Axe and Oak is a solid sip, and then that Iron Root.
Iron Root, I think, is the best one we've had tonight.
Yeah. I talked to the guy today. I'm gonna do a barrel pick on the Iron Root, but it's not gonna be at the distillery. It's gonna be at Liquor King. They're gonna send the samples,
In?
and then me and like 4 other people are gonna go. So,
That'd be cool.
but yeah. So the last thing I will hit on DC releases for 2021. Snyder Cut,
Yep.
which is predicted for March.
Yep.
I believe
March
it is.
2021. Yep.
He upped it up to a typical Zack Snyder thing. I think it's 4 hours long.
4-hour movie.
Split into 4 episodes, which I'm all about. There was a lot of talk about him opening up the universe after the fact, but he came out and said that there was really no plan to do that. So it's pretty much probably going to live and die at the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
Everything else is going to go branch off on its own. Then you got Suicide Squad with Guardians of the Galaxy's James Gunn.
Yep.
With everybody in that. That's going to be fantastic and ridiculous. Also, even though I love Will Smith, thank God he's not in the movie. Because every movie Will Smith's in, it has to be a Will Smith movie. And then also a Peacemaker TV show spinoff starring the John Cena. The great and powerful, fantastic acting John Cena. Also,
Seattle's getting eliminated right now.
Yep, quick update. It's 42 seconds. 30 to 20, LA Rams are kneeling it out and taking the wild card victory. So they will go
Seattle.
on, and they will probably end up playing probably the Packers.
Yeah, which should be a pretty easy game for Green Bay.
Because
at this point.
they're the 6th seed. So they'll end up playing the Packers, which won't go well for them, I don't imagine. In the sports world, obviously, you got playoffs. You got Patrick Mahomes getting ready to win another Super Bowl, in my opinion.
Probably.
You got the Dallas Cowboys finally fired their defensive coordinator. Thank God. They're going to hire somebody that's also close to the organization. It's not going to be a big name. Marvin Jones would be cool, but he's not going to leave Arizona. Dan Quinn is shown to be a good defensive coordinator with Seattle. It will never happen, but my 2 preferred would be Wade Phillips coming back as a defensive coordinator and Chris Richard coming back as a defensive coordinator.
I would take Chris Richard. I like Chris Richard.
A lot of people would. He did not coach this year. He took the year off because he didn't want to take just, the Boise State defensive backs coach position. He wanted a real job, so he just held out.
Smart.
Yeah, rode the wave that he's sitting on. I would like him to come back, but I don't think that'll be a thing. It'll be someone that they're close with, I imagine.
Someone with last name Jones.
Probably. What else? College football championship is on Monday as of this recording.
7 p.m. Central Time. It's the 7-0 Ohio State versus the 12-0 Alabama.
It's like watching the Patriots every year.
Yep.
Up till this year. Who do you think's going to win?
I think Alabama's going to win. I think Ohio State is running a Cinderella story because I don't know if you know or not, they originally weren't going to be allowed into the playoffs
because of their shortened season.
Because the shortened season, they had to play against Michigan, and that would be their playoff contention game to get into the playoffs. Like 5 people on Michigan got COVID. They're like, hey, we're forfeiting. We can't play. And they're like, okay, sorry, Ohio State, you didn't play 7 games, so you can't qualify for the playoffs. And then last minute, they're like, hey, we'll put in a COVID clause. You're in the playoffs. They're like, and I think everyone thought, everyone wrote them off. They're like, oh,
everyone wrote them off, and A&M fans were pissed.
Yeah, and then they came in and just ran the table in their bowl game. They ran the table first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, they beat beat number 1 pick Sunshine and Clemson.
Yeah.
Which, actually... So you got Jacksonville picking number 1.
Yeah.
They're trying to hire Urban Meyer right now. I haven't heard. There is a direct connection between Urban Meyer, Ohio State, and Justin Fields because it said that Urban Meyer helped Justin Fields go to Ohio State from where he was at before. So there's a possibility that you swap out Trevor Lawrence for Justin Fields. Trevor Lawrence is the better quarterback. Yeah. He's kind of like what Andrew Luck was coming out. He's a sure thing. He's going to be good.
Yeah.
Andrew Luck was smart enough to know I need a brain when I'm older, so he dipped out quick. Trevor Lawrence, young, sunshine, beautiful locks of long hair, and yeah, but very good. Justin Fields is actually hurt.
Yeah.
Going up against that defense, And the weapons on that Alabama offense.
Yeah, first time, and I think it was a decade, a wide receiver got the Heisman.
Well deserved, though.
Yeah.
Him and I can't remember the other wide receiver to save my life, but both of them are so incredibly good. Both probably going in the top 15 in the draft.
Yeah.
Mac Jones for being an Alabama quarterback, which some have won Heismans, but traditionally don't do great in the NFL.
Yep.
I think he makes a lot of the right throws. He does a good job. I think Alabama takes it, but it's going to come down to, probably whoever makes the first mistake and then has to catch up.
Yeah.
We can go into all the other movies that are coming out in 2021. I say we leave that till next week.
Yep. I think we have a couple of fun podcasts coming up. I know we've been talking about ranking our 23-1 Marvel.
Yes, we'll go back through that, especially with the Phase 4 starting to kick
Yes.
off this year. We'll continue to talk about the NFL playoffs. We'll nerd out on, and I'll probably educate because I'm a bigger nerd about it than you are, going into the draft, which is less than 3 months away.
Yes.
We got all kinds of shows coming up, all kinds of movies.
We recently bought the 10 hot sauces from the Hot Ones interviews, which
So
I'm
excited
sure we're
for
going to have
that.
something going on with that.
Some kind of pain. Someone's going to snort it. But it's going to be great. So this is our first clusterfuck of a podcast.
Way more unorganized than what we're going to be in the future.
Yeah.
But you have to have a first one.
Yeah. First one was garbage. Second one will be slightly less garbage. Third one will be slightly less garbage, and we'll just go from there.
And eventually it'll become decent.
Yeah. I'm in. I'm excited. You have anything left in your glass?
One sip.
One sip. So for that, cheers. Hail Hydra.
Drink whiskey and Hail Hydra. Hey everybody, thank you so much for listening to the first ever Whiskey and Nerd Shit podcast. If you have any questions or ideas about future episodes, please reach out to us at whiskeyandns@yahoo.com and be on the lookout for our Patreon coming soon at patreon.com/whiskey and nerd shit. Thanks again for listening, and remember, drink whiskey, Hail Hydra.